Hello, everybody. Today with Left Right USA, we're going to go over a bad news, good news minute. This is episode 1, and this is about the firing of generals and the threatening of war crimes. And Susan here, she's done some research for this. So how about, Susan, you tell us what the bad news is real quick for this week.
So last week, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth fired 3 generals in the middle of a war. Army Chief of Staff General Randy George, Army General David Hodney, and Army Major General William Green, which at least one U.S. official described as insane. In the middle of a war is probably not the best time to fire generals, especially one who was heavily involved in integrating drones into the Army, which we kind of need that expertise right now. That's what killed the first of our U.S. service members in this war was a drone. So the latest firings follow at least 13 firings last year and some forced resignations.
Okay.
And
that is bad. What else?
President Trump threatening to commit war crimes in Iran on Easter.
Is that a genocide threat?
Yeah, well, you could term it a little differently, but still threatening to destroy, the power plants, the water plants. That's a war crime. It's not militarily necessary. So under the Geneva Conventions, under the Hague Convention, it's a war crime.
Right.
So that's the bad.
So what's the good news then with all of that happening? Gosh.
The good news is that the firing of these generals likely means that some generals are standing against certain orders and initiatives, because otherwise, they wouldn't want to fire him, right? If they were just saying, yes, sir, about everything. So that's the good news. And that there are also just as many retired military leaders who are speaking out against what this administration is doing. I recently saw a list of 11 retired 4-star generals and admirals who are speaking up. And the other good news is that, this threats against the civilian infrastructure in Iran, the missiles hitting the 2 schools in Iran, have made more and more people speak up against the war. They're like, we don't want to go to war.
Yeah, that's good news. That is very good news. And we still have power over what's happening. So tell me, what's some of the specific things that we can do as individuals, as normal Americans?
Something we can do as ordinary citizens is call our representatives and tell them to support Greg Meek's War Powers resolution to end the war in Iran. 2 Republicans supported last month's bipartisan War Powers resolution, and more will likely support this one. So it has a chance of passing. So call them up.
Okay, so how would I connect? Let's say, how would I connect if I wanted to? Call them up. I mean, I know there's a 5 calls app that I've actually
no, you've used that. I haven't. So tell us a little bit about how it works.
So it's just, I have a Google. It's on the Google Play Store. It's free. You just search for the number 5 calls, and it comes right up. You add it to your phone, and you add your own personal information, like your location, your zip code, and then it will give you your local reps, your local senators, both their phone numbers locally, and even just a button to push. It'll give you the top issues that you can ask about and what to say, as well as the Washington, D.C. number, their offices in Washington, D.C., your local and the Washington, D.C. number. So I've used that a few times. I love it. I was actually able to connect with a couple people, like live. Otherwise, you can leave a voicemail.
That sounds really convenient, like an easy way to do that. You don't have to try to search all that information out. It'll help you find it all for you.
Yeah,
that's great.
For you with little call buttons and issues that are the top issues being called about. Yep.
And then there was also a way, I think, that things that we can do to help heal the divide, right?
Yeah.
And one thing that we could do this week, we could contact military members that we know and tell them, we think about you, we care about you, we appreciate you, we pray for you. Yes. Also offer a little love to a military family you may know. We can do something to help us all feel more connected as Americans. We don't have to follow bad examples. We can choose for ourselves.
Yes. So yeah, that basically wraps up our short here for the bad news, the good news, and what you can do about it. So what do you think about this, all of you out there watching, about the U.S. becoming a war country? Drop a comment below.
Hit like and subscribe to help us get the word out.
Now, is there another topic that you would like us to cover? Contact us and let us know.
And check out our Substack to get detailed write-ups. Find our Facebook and our Blue Sky to help keep up to date with the latest news. We post frequently throughout the day. And welcome to the conversation.